just want to check something. So I get some comments occasionally about my hair color being wrong. Medium dark brown, natural hair color, I don't know. It's like Gonzo, who doesn't have an identity properly. It changes, red beard, grey, sideburns. Don't know what color's back here. Probably the pink of my scalp right there. Don't know what's going on with that. What I do know is that I do like the idea of bleaching the front hairline. Not just the roots. The roots need to be bleached, obviously. But the transition often looks more realistic for me, especially when I go from pale to dark. And these roots are not really very well bleached. This was the one that I cut out first in that previous video, and I peroxide bleached the other 5. This is one of the ones here where I bleached the front section there with peroxide. Now you'll see, I'll hold this up to my forehead so we can get a direct comparison. Okay, so that's without the bleaching. And this is with the bleaching. So this will be my next hairpiece probably. Can you see how it will transition a lot more realistically than, and it's still the same color up here, than that. Before the bleaching, after the bleaching. I know you'll think it's just a different color, but that's just at the front area. And if you look at, compared to my sideburns and stuff, it's not way off. You know what I mean? My hair just fluctuates in color throughout. The problem is obviously if it changes color right on that line, that would be disastrous. And I did notice in a previous video in bright sunlight, it was clear that the front section looked a lot more orange, which made me think I should be getting dark brown, color number 3, instead of medium dark brown, color number 4. But then again, this seems darker, maybe because it's got hair product in it, which I haven't washed out since I made that other video. But there is one other way to fix your hair color if your skin's really pale and your hair's really dark and there's no good graduation. And I will be wearing this for the next month or so, so I should try to fix it. One thing I could do is bleach this, but I used up all my bleach and I don't want to open another one just for this and then risk chemical burns again. So solution number 2 is blackface. Love this stuff. Now, like I've shown you before, I've done this before. What's it called when you sing song? I've done this before. What's it called, that intonation? Anyway, that sing-songy voice, that reminded me of Donald Trump. I think I've picked it up from him. I've been listening to him too much or something. Or I was doing it before. Anyway, I've shown you before. Everybody loves it, everybody agrees. The reason I'm mentioning that I've shown you before is that this is going to be the wrong color until I have a shower, but it needs to be in for about 8 hours. Not out. I'll wash the ears as well. Wash. Make sure I get my little bald spot there. It'll blend better as well. But there's no comparison. It looks so... on the camera screen, the difference in color is astronomical. It's unbelievable, actually. But in the mirror, it looks slightly tanned, right? Anyway, it just goes to show what the camera's picking up. It looks ridiculous. Anyway. Trust me, it'll look great. Everybody will love it. Gotta get that shit off my fingers. Okay, now. Soap. See, if this offended somebody, I would just have to tell them by the laws of common sense to fuck off. Even if I even went darker, I'd still say fuck off. This does not mean that I don't love anyone who's black, right? And anyone who thinks that is fucking just a mob following sheep woke cult cunt. All those rules. Next it'll be you're not allowed to do accents. I do not know what you are talking about. Do not bamboozle me with all these new rules, Mr. Man, Mr. Sir. Mr. Sir, please do not bamboozle me. I'm not doing blackface, pretending I'm an Indian. But yes, I guess I am. There's no denying that that's exactly what I was just doing. But I have Indian friends, so you think I want to hurt their feelings? I don't think. I think they'd probably think that's funny, right? If they don't, they're cunts. Because I mean you no harm. We come in peace. All right, now, the ears. They cannot remain covered in spray tan. They don't end up looking right. So, wipe that off. But yeah, when you talk about the color being wrong, by the way, if I decided to dye my hair blonde, is that racist against like Swedish, Scandinavian people? Anyway, there's too much fear of racism when it shouldn't. Racism is a clear thing, not some vague fucking thought police shit that has to be monitored in every single person as if they're commies or something for fucking differentiating between different races of animals. Because unlike me, most of you fucking eat other races and you're fine with mass murder of them. I'm not. When I was 12, I was so... How can you take me seriously? You can't. Anyway, I became a vegetarian when I was 12. I didn't even know there were other vegetarians in the world. I just stopped eating meat. In terms of health, I walked about 8 kilometers yesterday, walked around the block today. I got the message about me being a fat ass, and I agree. I am. I'm fucking fat. But at least I'm not white and fat. That's the worst combination. So in about 8 hours, I'll be able to shower, and so I'll just have a nice healthy glow. It ends right there and there. It doesn't look like this in real life, guys. It makes me think this camera cannot be trusted. Anyway, I'll publish the results. Okay, I'm not going to just leave this video as is. Well, maybe I will. Fuck it. No, I won't. I'll come back tomorrow or some shit. All right. I just woke up. Hey, it's not even midday. 44% humidity. Not a bad day. Just looking at you, looking at me, and looking like a puppy. I can see your ear flopping funny. Trying to understand what the fuck is going on. All right. Yeah. I'm gonna wash this off. I do have white sheets. At least they were white. Don't recommend sleeping in fake tan. This is the stuff, by the way. Tan airbrush in a can. This is the promotion. Yeah, they've paid me to advertise their product. They said make sure you put in some ethnic references when you're trying to show your black face and everything. All right, I'm gonna wash this off. It's no wonder I'm always sweating for ages after the shower, as you would expect. This thermostat and humidity reader and clock is in a bathroom. I just had a shower, the room's full of steam, humidity shot up to 70%. So that's where the high percentage humidity comes from often. So most of that's washed out except for this line on my neck. Stand tall. Pose. I prefer having darker skin, having grown up with freckles all over my fucking body. Smoothness. If I could, I would get the nice tanned skin full time. At least I can get full head of hair. I'm so happy that I discovered StickOnHair. Before that, I was doomed to baldness. Doomed, I tell you! But how much better is it to have hair? It's fucking the best. I love it. Transitioning isn't just about forehead to hair piece at the hairline. It's also about transitioning between the perimeter, your natural hair, in here. So I feel like here, the hair is jutting up because I've got too much hair. So I'm probably gonna have to trim that down with thinning scissors. Fuck, they've gone rusty. I didn't know that would happen. That's shit. Oh well. So, and also the color. Now I have got my light on my mirror here, but I feel like the lighting in here is not perfect to show you stuff properly. But you can see a big bulk sticking out there. It can be tamed with hair product, but some of that bulk will need to be taken away with thinning scissors. Okay, so let's just, see that side is fine, right? That seems to be smooth, the way that falls flat. But here it juts up, potentially because the hairs are too short, but they're not really too short, are they? They've still got enough, like, it's just too much bulk. I just don't know why it falls nice that side and doesn't fall nice that side. Because unlike when I buy a dome, I've got to cut it out, I expect that to misbehave because it's just really not made to be cut out as a partial so much. But this one, it should behave itself. So there's something I've done wrong in the cutting of it. Potentially the hairs are shorter on this side maybe. Yeah, potentially these are too long. I'll just do a quick trim on this with some water and also show you the hairline transition now. As you know, I didn't bleach the front hairline on this piece. I just bleached the other 5. So should brush carefully, otherwise the water flicks at the mirror and you've got to keep cleaning the mirror. See, that blends when you do it back, but I can't trust the brush back look with this hairpiece. Not just because I haven't bleached the front knots. Is it true? Somebody just wrote in the comments that all hairs for hairpieces are bleached before they're re-dyed. That can't be real. If that was true, why wouldn't every hair company make perfect knots? If it's going to be bleached, just sew them all in blonde, then dye them from above the root line. The hairline still doesn't look real. And over here, there's still lifting going on. Just there. It's just too stark. It's a wall of hair, basically. Even the tanning didn't stop that from looking that way. But it's less stark than, look at the, you can't even see proper colors in this room. It's not this room, it's the camera. The camera doesn't seem capable. I don't know if the brightness isn't set up on this camera for me to see it properly, but it looks really like a wall of hair. It looks like a wall of hair in real life as well. You can't just have an exposed hairline when there's absolutely no transitioning. And the transitioning here, in this case, I did with my skin because I just wanted it to be tanned, basically. But also, just to show, it is more effective to have dark skin to dark hair, or darker skin, I should say. Okay, just comparing the lengths back here, it looks equal. So does that, really. And I can tell you, examining that hair, that partial, which looked fantastic, didn't it? Look at the quality of the hair. It did seem very perfectly even throughout the entire piece. So 10 points for this hair, for these partials, except for the knots. I cannot stand unbleached knots. It's just completely unacceptable. Let's try cutting a bit of this. Not taking much off. There was more bulk that I needed to remove than that, and the bulk was happening right here. So anything down here is not really part of that bulk problem that I was showing you. Yeah, I don't know why it was sticking up so much. But yeah, transition from color to natural hair color to actual hair piece color Like the hairpiece is the actual thing and your actual hairs are just some artificial thing. No. Okay, so that bulky bit, it's all been sewn in from what I saw and pushed by the factory in one direction. So it should look exactly the same all over. It's probably something to do with the way I've cut it. There's no massive amount of overhang or anything happening back here. So maybe it's just the way the hair dried coming out of the shower. But if I look at both sides, where this side ends, which is right there on the edge of my eye, this feels about the same all across. So anyway, when you transition from your hair to your forehead, if you don't have a brush back look, you can totally conceal it. I'm not gonna walk around with my hair down over my fucking face like this. It's annoying me, right? And it doesn't look good. But if you cannot get a good transition at all, and so that the hair it's a wall of hair and it just looks like a wig, like this one does, you just have to conceal it the whole time. Make sure your hairline is never shown. So really, it's gonna have to be sort of naturally falling. Kind of like that, but without that bulky bit there. Yeah, a hairdresser could probably say exactly why that side is bulking up. In something underneath here that's forcing it upwards. Because I would say it's probably uniformly bulky all the way through. That's another thing about transitioning. Don't treat the hair pieces separate from your other hair. It should all blend in. So transitioning from there to there, as well as from there to there. I might have to give myself another haircut. It seems a bit hard to style. That muck stuff that I use all the time, it makes your head kind of hold in the heat though, right? Your hair's kind of icky to touch all day. It has good styling properties. The thing is, I think I use too much. You really don't need as much as I put in there. Because once you rub it around your hand and you spread it uniformly throughout your head, it distributes. And I actually went back and put even more in because I wanted more hold, but you don't want that much hold anyway. But I like the idea of malleability with just being able to do that if I don't like the way my hair's sitting on my face or whatever. So I need something. I'll try this one again. This is a type of paste. It smells like American Crew, that petrol-y smell. I usually don't like these ones, and they usually have very weak hold and says it's got a matte finish. There's no stringiness when I do that. Yeah, about that little bit of lifting that I pointed out. The hair line is so bad that it's never going to be shown, so it's no point in me going and risking getting more glue all over the place in there. And it's lace, so it's always a pain in the ass. I could try to fix it, add a bit more glue in there, but I know there's glue there already. It just needs to be pressed back in or something. Poly's vastly superior in that way. But yeah, when that is bleached, just again, now that I've got a different skin color, I can show you well, I probably can't anymore. You know, the bleached front hairline from one of the other ones. Like this one, right? The problem is I've brushed. See the blonder part, lighter part there? where I bleached it. That would be the hairline there. So maybe you can just do it this way. Okay, so there's what you see there now. You can't actually see the hairline anyway, but then compared to, well, you can't tell. This is wet and this is dry, but anyway, if you've got long enough hair, you can always have a brush forward look, no problems. And your hairline will never be seen. Just don't go overboard with hair product to the point that it just looks like you look greasy, like I do. Hopefully this will dry with some softness and manageability to it without suffocating my scalp and melting all over the place. But yeah, having a haircut that suits your face type is really important. Obviously, if your face type requires a haircut that's really short, you're gonna have to shave your head, because you can't make hair pieces that short. They will not be controlled, and you'll see right through the knots every time. If you do find somebody who's got a realistic, and I do mean realistic, I don't mean like looks good on a photograph, I mean realistic hairpiece that's really shorter than 1.5 inches long, please show me. Send me the link to that. Send us all. Because I could be absolutely wrong thinking there's this cosmic law that says hairpieces can never be shorter than 1.5 inches. Because they'll just look like that all over your head. And there's no way to brush them or style them in any way. Whereas less than 1.5 inches on a human head growing out of your head is usually just fine, you know? Those haircuts happen in real life all the time. But with hairpieces, you can't really do it. And it's really important also not to make your hair look like you're wearing a wig, because that looks like shit. Mine's a bit wiggy in its current state, but hopefully when it dries, it'll be a bit better. Another thing to do is maybe part it in the middle, and when it dries, hopefully that will be less dark and noticeable. But yeah, if you've got wavy hair, you don't want to be using a brush so much. You just want to sort of tussle it or brush it and then fluff it into the direction you want so it just lands correctly, you know. All right, that's all I have to really say about transitioning. Tell me what you think is causing this bulk up here. Maybe I just had to brush it in the other direction. Well, it went away when I did that. It just wants to flow that way. Those hairs naturally want to fall in this direction. So yeah, that took the bulk out straight away when I did that. Got a couple of bits of glue up here. Look how white my teeth and eyes are now that I'm tanned. Anyway, that's another type of transition. All right. Hopefully when it dries it'll look better. But you can't really expose that kind of really unbleached knots like that. I've got to keep that hidden. Otherwise I'd be doing my hair completely different. Like when I put those other ones on next time, I'll be much more confident with my hairline, except for the fact that it's lace and there's no way to make the glue completely concealed. There's always a risk that dirt will gather all the way along the front. So I welcome the days when poly are being manufactured again, so we can order more of those rectangles. But at the moment I've spent enough money, so that should last me a few months.